Hey, hello guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I wanted to share some status updates and tell you what I've been up to and basically give some news. Apparently we don't have any, the video that I intended to release for this week ready, but I wanted to take this opportunity to just talk about what I'm doing. Um, for Persian poetry stuff, I've done some interesting jobs. Some of them didn't yield results. For example, I tried to come up with the scripts. I tried to use Notebook LM and a bunch of other AI tools to the microphone is on um, to make it easier to write the scripts. Basically, if you have any English PDF or any text, any large text, you can just upload it to such software and you can just do it. But it doesn't work quite well with Persian text. First off, because in Persian, the models are usually trained on English text. Each letter corresponds to one token, which means processing the content is going to be computationally much more expensive. Versus in English, you have um, one token per 70% to one entire word, or sometimes more. It depends on the model. But anyway, the bottom line is that it just didn't work in the way that I expected. And um, for Notebook LM, I was hitting the file size limits, and for some other software, I could do it after so much of conversion of the formats and whatnot, but it didn't work well. It didn't comprehend Rumi's poetry, so I have to rely on my own knowledge and your comments, of course, to just provide the content. Um, the next one, which was arguably the most difficult thing that I did, was just coming up with some background music especially for the content that relates to Iran. And it's difficult because if you go to loyalty-free loyalty-free music platforms, you don't get to find Persian traditional music that much. There are some on Facebook Sound Collection, but that's the only thing that I could find, plus a bunch of other stuff. But it's mostly limited. And of course, if you go on YouTube, you will see so many Persian music, but you cannot easily license it, and sometimes it's just pirated. We have some notable cases for that. So it was a little issue to just find some um, copyright free material. But I found some stuff on Facebook Sound Collection, and also after digging through the copyright statute of Iran and how it's observed in the US, I realized that you can basically, pirate some music, and since Iran is not in any form of what's the name of it? Intellectual property treaty, you can probably do that, but I don't think it's ethical. And sometimes those content owners have legal representation in the United States, so they can take your content down. And it's not a good thing to do in general. But I found that all the content that was produced um, before the revolution, and especially if anything was meant for organizational publishers, if it's anything owned by them, the copyright protection of that expires in 30 years. And for the content that's owned by actual people, like human entities, they are going to expire after 50 years of their death, basically. So it's much less than like 90 years that we have in the US. Yet still, that timeline is observed in the US. So if you go to Wikimedia, you will see that the note is made there. And that's how I got that info from. That means I have access to a big archive of Persian traditional music. The problem is that they are quite old, and they might not have the quality that I want. First, because of the recording quality, and also when you are producing some content, the music have to be the music tracks have to be prepared in a way that it's easier for content production. Sometimes you have some tracks, especially if you go to some professional platforms, you will see that like there are some pre-cut tracks, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or 1 minute, but it's not the case for such old media. Yet still, there are going to be some awesome tracks, and they are played by some of the um, renowned composers and players of Iran. So we will see what can happen. For the next one, I'm not going to use. I don't think I'm going to use any of those old tracks. But anyway, here we are. The next one is I'm ramping up some artwork for the channel, especially again for the Persian poetry stuff. That's the main area of focus at the moment. One of the issues and the talent gaps that we currently have in the market is that we have a bunch of nice AI tools. Of course, you probably have heard of Midjourney, DALL-E, or a bunch of other consumer AI tools that you can just go and write down your prompt and you will get something. But there are some professional tools like IP adapter, ControlNet. You probably haven't heard of these terms, and you probably don't know what they mean. The thing is that they need some advanced knowledge, and basically you need to deal with some GPU servers on your own. You need to set up your own environment, and people who can do that are usually software engineers, data scientists, and technical people, not necessarily designers. Designers are still stuck with some consumer products and probably, some Adobe generative fill or stuff like that, but it's not as fine-grained as you can be. Like you cannot create some image with traditional painting style of like 10th century in Iran. So it's not available yet. Software engineers and technical people can do that, but they do not have the knowledge on how to do it. And even if you just forget about some specific sort of content, if you go on some talent marketplaces, freelancer websites, you will see that designers don't necessarily deal with AI that much, and people who deal with AI don't necessarily care about design. They are just in for the technical side of it, which is something understandable, but it's a big gap in the market. If you're a designer, you can probably leverage it. I have seen that it's changing. Some people are emerging who know both, but certainly it's not about Iran. I've done some of the generative AI art on my own for the artwork. I'm not a designer, so it's going to lack some quality, but here we are, and I'm going to hire some directors to just take care of it and teach some of the designers probably who are open to it. But the good news is that you will have something. You will see something. And AI tools are, at the end of the day, you don't have to be the next Picasso to just use something for it. So, yeah, that was the third news. I also was trying to communicate with my video editors. We have had some issues in collaboration, like figuring out the exact duration of each clip. You probably remember the last clip. So I had to wait for them to render each clip to just observe the result. So I've been trying to see what kind of remote collaboration that we can have on a video editing software, and I can just probably put out the preliminary timeline assets, the soundtracks, durations, and whatnot, and let them take care of the rest. So I've been dealing with that. The next video is going to be about Rumi. It's a script took so long, but the script is ready. Last week I recorded it. It wasn't that good. I'm going to record it again tonight, and hopefully for the next week we are going to release it. But other than that, I have taken care of some of the biggest bottlenecks, the set, and just not having to carry away all the recording equipment, all the microphones and whatnot. And as you see, the sound quality is noticeably better, not probably the best. And we have some branding in place that current set is just to my liking. And yeah, that's all I could say for now. Just stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully, I mean, it's going to be what I want it to be, not necessarily some of the backup ideas that I have. It's going to be about one more roomy poem. But I wanted to just put this video out there because I wanted to also maintain a cadence of one video per week. And that's all. Thank you so much for just listening to me. I know it was a bit of a rant and it's unscripted, but I wanted to, I mean, be transparent with you on what's happening. And wherever you are and whatever time it is out there, have a good one. Bye.